the Matt Mosley Show, live on the road, hard by the Brazos River. And we are at the Brazos Landing, my home away from home, one of the great restaurants in all of Central Texas. They're getting ready for the 4th of July. Kevin Hoosier Hall, you can see him on your screen, has joined us. He's getting dressed up for the occasion. We're just the excitement that Kevin brings. The Z-Man is on hand as well. Always great to see him. He's a man that does not love to leave the studio. But when he does, people love interacting with him, and they enjoy that experience. So it's great to have him today. And we are doing this from inside what I call the Bourbon Street Bar. I also think they call it that here at the Brazos Landing. And the bunting that I'm referring to, and boy, I wish we could almost show that. Kev, I'm looking up at that, the large bunting.
Yep.
But this is kind of like, in the old days, this is what it looked like in baseball, like opening day in baseball, 4th of July. This is kind of a old school, nostalgic type look, and it's they have the bunting all the way around the Brazos Landing, and you can see. Kev, now, do you or Z have any clue with what's happening at the Brazos River? I mean, they look like they're doing some major moving of dirt over there by the Foster Pavilion. Yeah. I'm going to say that's probably either they're doing something with the trail over there, or maybe they're adding some parking.
It does look like it is going under the bridge. So,
Mm-hmm. But man, they've had to really look even down the Brazos or up the Brazos, whatever direction you want to look. Look back there. They've had to put all those special perimeters up to do whatever it is they're doing. I probably, those commercials, like things that when you're turning into your parents. You've seen those commercials.
Yeah.
After the show today, I'm going to go over and just watch some of that.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to watch some of the building.
You're going to watch construction go on?
Yeah. And maybe, like some of those people in the commercials, give them a little feedback.
Oh.
Just maybe provide some, I think they would love to hear from me.
Yeah.
By the way, look at this. ESPN's actually covering the World Cup. Fox, they're actually talking about it. They've been accused of not spending much time with the World Cup because they don't have the rights to it. Fox and FS1 and I think Telemundo have the main rights to this, and they're showing some highlights from that big win for Portugal over Uzbekistan that did not put up much of a fight. That's a 5-0 win, and that's what I was telling you. I mean, I love seeing all these goals, and I like seeing the legends like Ronaldo have a couple of goals. I get it, but not all World Cup goals are built the same. I'd like to look at a chart like goals that came against solid nations, right. solid teams. And I'd like to look at Messi's, and I would like to look at Ronaldo, and I'd like to look at Mbappe and some of those other people you mentioned. The great Pele, I'm going to assume all of his goals came against great competition. Pele never took shortcuts. All right. Now, I understand that John was here earlier. John Morris, the John Morris Show at a special time today was at noon, and he had all kinds. I walked up. Tweety Carter was on hand, one of the greatest Baylor legends of them all. Amy Lawrence is joining the Rogue family, and she's a major, man, I knew her back at ESPN. She's been with CBS. She's kind of like me. She's seen a few different employers over the years. That's good. You got to get out and see the world a little bit. And she has, and she's ended up with the Rogue crew. Although, and then last night, by the way, Kev, during the draft special, the Pete Souza show was live from Argyle out in Argyle, Texas. And I was a part of that show. So yesterday, Kevin, I'm just having trouble recovering today because I actually did like 4 hours of, 3 or 4 hours of talking, but I think I'll be okay. We got Mavericks news to react to. We got Lakers news on a couple of fronts. And we've got the live show here at the Brazos Landing, and people are already out there. I would say happy hour starts kind of now, but I think technically probably it starts at more like 3 when we're wrapping things up. but I see people already out on that swamp deck. Look at that bar out there. That's a beautiful bar. I would say the temperature today is kind of not awful. I mean, by Texas standards,
Right.
I feel like we're easing
Texas
into
standard,
the summer.
We are, we are officially in summer now. I would say it probably didn't ease into summer. It was roaring into the summer before the summer actually started. Now that the summer has arrived, it goes, you know what? Let's calm down.
I feel like it's okay. It's not. But let's and Amy's going to join us, and then let me look at my programming here. We got to play because he's traveling today, and he was at the draft last night working for ESPN. Fran is going to jump on with us. He says, okay, Kev, so I need you to help me look for Fran. He's saying let's do 1:30. Might be a minute or two late, but I will get on with you. Okay. All right. We're going to give him a big thanks. All right. So about 1:30. So I would say probably, Kevin, at some point we'll probably, we'll put Amy on before that. So I would say maybe in about 4 or 5 minutes would be a good time if we can grab her attention over there. Looks like she's having some of the wonderful food here at the Brazos Landing. Well, somebody's having a good time over there. Good lunch crowd today. And then again, just come join us as we kind of ease into happy hour. I mean, Kevin's already started with his water. Now, Kevin's a man.
What you think it is?
That's right. It's some form of clear liquid. It totally looks like water. I have seen people try to kind of fake that over the years. I can even recognize when somebody gets like an Arnold Palmer and they've put just a tad bit of, they're like, maybe a little vodka or something. I can look at it and I can tell if it's a little diluted. And I have that ability.
Gotcha.
The
judgmental ability.
Z-Man's over there, and I love everything about. I like his focus. I like how he is. Z-Man, in a couple minutes, when I give you the nod, I want you, if you don't mind, to walk over there and tell Amy we're ready for her. Okay, cool. We just got so much happening here. Z's off camera. I love it when he's on camera. When I go on vacation, it's the two of you that just take over. Look at this young man wondering what show is this? What show are we witnessing? This is the Matt Mosley Show, youngsters. This is a safe show to watch. It's a safe space. I think that may be is that the dad there? Maybe wandering up here to wish he'd break in that cap a little bit. Bourbon Street Bar, all right, is the part we're in, and that bar back there is so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, by the way, that
we can't even show it on camera.
I know. I didn't know how I was going to say that, but yeah, we had one coach on that it was like I don't know, but it does. I like the lighting. I like the way it looks and everything, and I like the. Does John have a sign? I don't know.
No, John does not have a sign.
Oh gosh, I hope that did not bother him.
Did
he mention it?
Whenever it was being put up, he's like, "Oh yeah, go ahead and put that up." That's nice.
Oh, does he not get enough attention? I think he does. He does.
He is the voice of the Baylor Bears. If you wanted a sign, he shouldn't have just been the voice, right?
Yeah.
If you want a sign, be more than a voice.
That's right. And there I am with the sunglasses here. I wonder if those sunglasses are the exact. Are they built to scale?
This was before. You've not cut your hair a little bit since then, I think.
Oh, that was before I grew the hair. Yeah, all the way out. Mavericks news. Morez Johnson Jr. comes in. Amy, you're okay. Yeah, you're okay. We're about to bring you on. Yeah. Okay. Amy Lawrence has kind of wandered over here and then wandered right off the set. So we'll just shout things at people. See, I love the look behind the camera over there of like looking out kind of into the wildlife and into the river over that bunting, over that beautiful bunting leading out there. Now, I hate that father took the sons out on the deck because you could tell the kids really wanted to be a part of the show. They wanted to kind of see how radio was done or whatever this is, how YouTube
they wanted to comment on the Mavericks draft.
Yeah, exactly. Morez, okay, and that is the number he's going to be. He is going to wear He's going to wear number 14. And was it a shock that he was taken at number 9? I think shock's an overstatement. It was a bit stunning based on we watch all these mock drafts and we see where people are. And even 3 weeks ago, Mavs Johnson Jr. was in the first round.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of hanging around down there somewhere, right? And then lately it's been oh, man, the Michigan guys are 12, 13, and 14 or 11, 12, and 13, And sure enough, Mavs goes 9, and Dusty's over there. There's the great Dusty May in the background. Did you see him reacting?
No. That was his reaction
in the
to
green room.
A die. He was like,
yeah. But I think he was doing that with all of them. But when a die got taken, it was a very, very emphatic.
Right.
And I could tell McCollum was over there next to him, the Iowa coach, and I could tell McCollum's kind of okay.
I couldn't tell if he was super excited or super disappointed because he went to another Western Conference team that he was going to have to play now. He now has to play against a die at least several times a year.
Yeah. Somebody said a die could be like the antidote to Wimby or something. It's let's not put too much on him. Let the man get in there. But I just think we wondered how much, Dusty was going to have since he just got, it was basically not officially announced until yesterday. It's not like he had been in a bunch of draft meetings, or had he? Or had he been consulted for a couple of weeks? You never know. But I think would they have taken Mavs Johnson Jr. without Dusty May being the impending head coach?
No, not a chance.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm glad you're going ahead and answered.
Not a chance.
I'm not completely dismissing the idea that they had landed. I mean, think about it. He was only being slated a couple of picks after he went.
Yeah.
So let's not act like Dusty came in and they just tore up their draft board and said, whatever, Dusty. I mean, Masai Ujiri is a pretty big-time dude. I don't think he's a guy that's okay, Scout, sorry, we just hired Dusty. We got to take one of these Michigan kids. So all the work y'all did on Braden Burries, it's out the window.
Yeah, but they need backcourt more than they need front court. And so the only reason they went with this is because they got the coach.
Listen, Lively's always hurt. They kind of want to trade Gafford. Let's not act like they don't need front court. All right.
Okay.
This guy. And then last night I'm reading somebody saying that writes for the morning news, saying they got their wing. That's not what he is. I mean, we got to know. We got to know when they draft somebody, what position they play. That's line one. All right. Well, speaking of a writer, broadcaster, can we bring her on during? Can you during the set change? A live set. Yeah. Amy, if you'll come around behind that camera right there, come around, and then Kevin will hand off. We've got all kinds of. We've got. Z, will you not trip her over there? Yeah, this is not.
Me and my big feet.
Oh man! All right.
Here I am.
Good to see you. She's now on camera. Amy Lawrence.
This way?
You've done this a time or two. Yeah. There you go.
Although
there you go.
Camera scares me. I much prefer to just be the voice behind the microphone.
We've heard your voice
yes.
for a few years now.
Yes.
You and I crossed paths back when I was covering the NFC East for ESPN.com. And
when
at one
was
point
that?
was covering the entire NFL.
Right. Because I left
to,
ESPN in 2012.
Not to make this about me. I think I got over there in 2000. Parcells left the Cowboys and I left the Cowboys at the same time. I was covering them for the morning news. And then so I joined my first Super Bowl with ESPN.com was that one in Miami and Chicago and Indianapolis were playing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So,
so then I was there for about 5 years.
Was that 05-ish?
Yeah. No. That was the 06 season Super Bowl.
Okay,
so I kind of officially started in 07.
Okay.
With ESPN.
Yeah.
I was there for about 5-6 years.
Okay.
I can only stay at a place
stay for so long. It's got a very specific format and a very specific formula, and I outgrew it. I'm assuming you did too.
Yeah, I'll put it. Yeah, maybe we put it that way. I don't know. I don't know how they would phrase it, but I was thinking about when you and I were talking about the Bristol campus a minute ago, like going up there for what they called blog summits. And it's funny because I think the kids that are coming out of high school now and going to college and all, they don't even really, they're generally aware of a blog, but they have no understanding that these blogs were kind of like what podcasts are now. Like podcasts became a monster, blogs were, and so I was I was the first ever full-time blogger.
Were you?
At ESPN.com. Yeah, I don't think it's a claim to fame, but the worst part of it is it was right when Florio was getting going with Pro Football Talk, and at that time it's kind of the Wild West, and they're like, hey, just do what he does. And I'm like, oh, not sleep, not. So I went from like breaking stories and covering Bill Parcells to like that weird sort of thing where you're trying to also break stories and still do all that while trying to put links out and aggregate and all that. And aggregation.
Out, it was the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
And there really were no rules, kind of like college football now, college sports now, right? Yeah. Revenue producing sports. It's amazing how much it changed because then blogs went to vlog. Remember a video blog?
Yeah.
And it was like a celebrity marriage, a combination of the two. And now everything has video. So I teach students at Syracuse, and very few of them even have done straight radio. Everything, even though it's a sports talk class, almost all of them have been on camera more than I have.
Yeah, that's
just in practicing. Yeah.
Boy, Syracuse, look at you. I mean, the bastion of journalism. Just ask the people from there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We're very proud of our Newhouse tradition and legacy.
It's a great tradition.
It is.
I'm trying to think, is Tirico a Michigan man or a Syracuse?
He's Syracuse. He spoke to my grad class when I was there, and we were in awe. Bob Costas, same thing. I mean, it could go on and on and on. Don't get me started. A really funny story, though, Matt, when I went to an award show in New York City last spring for some Syracuse awards, Bob Costas was the keynote, and they brought back all of the major names. Noah Eagle, now with Ian Eagle, they both went to Syracuse. And there was Marv Albert was there. There was a group of us, most of us wearing orange, some of us not, but all of these men who are famous in broadcasting and me. Just the one female. I have had a couple of female students in my class, but it's still sports talk, whether it's podcast, whether it's video, it's still predominantly male.
You still look very young to be the trailblazer you are.
Thank you.
And having been, there was a time when somebody, it was young enough in the time of like sports radio where if you were going to be a female in the industry, you almost had to have like some kind of nickname or whatever.
Right, a sidekick.
And so there was and there was somebody named the Sports Princess. And I remember you probably knew her, but at some point, I think maybe she came through Dallas.
And the Sports Babe. Remember that one too?
Yes. So you had to like have like some kind of superhero name or something like that.
Crazy.
And,
People, I don't know about you. I won't assume I know how old you are, but people say to me, sometimes I'll have friends who will say to me, I wish I could go back to my 20s and 30s. And I'm like, hell no.
Yeah.
Not in a million years. I lived through so much crap in our industry. I would never go back there. I'm good with where I am, old and all.
No, and just when you would be comfortable, somebody would come by your radio station, writers come, like Cumulus would come in and go, all right, we're taking over
we're
now.
Selling. Yep.
Yeah, and ESPN would be like, oh, sorry, we loved you, but y'all are, we're giving this to Cumulus. So you're like, wait, what do I do?
Yeah, Cumulus.
And then your buddy, our friends who are older than us will be like, well, now it's time to retire.
Do you remember Clear Channel? That was another company.
That's still around here.
Yeah. It was another one that bought out my first radio station that I worked out in Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
That was bought out by Clear Channel and then a transition. Our business is nuts. It's like football. Never get comfortable. The second you get comfortable, it's all going to change.
Well, and this is pretty exciting. Rogue Media is a growing company, and we've got a number of shows. And so are you based up in the Northeast?
No. So crazy enough.
Where are you these days?
My husband and I moved to the College Station area in November. So, Matt, I'm still going through culture shock But
in November.
Yes, it was 85 on Christmas, and I thought I cried. I'll just admit it. I cried over the weather this winter. So we moved because my mom lives in the Houston area, and his mom and a lot of his family are in the Temple area. And so because of our moms, because of family, his whole family's here. We did a couple of years outside New York because I still had the contract. But we realized that this was the right thing for moms and for family. And so we relocated.
Good for you.
He did the culture shock in New Jersey and New York for 2 years. And now it's my turn.
Amy, that's it. And my daughter goes to A&M. And
okay.
I'm down there a lot.
Yeah, we're
that's great.
In a College Station area.
Okay. All right. And so, what's going to be the timing of your show and everything?
Yeah, awesome stuff. I'm really excited. Corey bringing me on board with Rogue Media and 365 Sports, especially knowing it's legit because you are here, of course. We have a long history. I'm going to be starting August 3rd. So right in that slide with football, gearing up to college and NFL. And it'll be a 2-hour daily show. And so back to the grind. 10 a to noon Central Time. So 11 to 1. We'll get that lunch crowd. But you know how it is now. You can do a live YouTube show, but a lot of your viewers and listeners are going to catch it on demand after the fact. So I love that about Rogue Media and the model that people can listen and watch whenever they want to. But I will admit, if I'm ever cool enough to have a sign on a billboard like yours back there, it's really cool. I'm petrified of camera. So
you'll be great. It'll be fine. I was the same way. I did it for years. I still make them. I wear these so people can't see what my crazy eyes are doing.
Should I do that?
Yeah. Just put the sunglasses on.
I was telling Stephanie, our sales manager, that it's going to take maybe 3 days, and I'm going to freak out over a bad hair day. And she's like, "No, just wear a hat." But I grew up in an era of journalism where people wore suits and women had to look like they were dressed to the nines. So I'm still.
You'll be great. Thanks for doing this. I've got Fran Fraschilla is going to come on here in a second. Yeah, I'm sure you've had Fran on plenty of times in the past. But welcome to the family. Thanks for being here today. And I'm glad to know you're in College Station because I'm down there all the time.
And
so
we'll
get together
to do some more shows.
Yeah, I hope so.
Awesome.
I hope so.
Very
welcome.
Cool.
I appreciate it.
Matt. Good to talk to you.
All right.
I'm going to not
Amy
trip
Lawrence
on my way out.
Yeah, well, you can wait right there. We can give you time. Okay. Well, there she goes. Amy Lawrence. Okay. Is Fran waiting? Is he already? Okay. Quick break, and then Fran Fraschilla is next.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
David Willey here. I got a question for you. How do you know what kind of deal you're getting on your copier? If you really want to know, give me a call and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. CTWP, your only local copier company.
Celebrate America's 250th with a new boat from Marineland Boating Center. Shop Tracker, Nitro, and Ranger fishing boats, Sun Tracker pontoons, and Tahoe sports boats priced to move and ready for summer fun. Join us during the week of July 4th, featuring great deals on Tracker boats, giveaways, and family fun. Visit Marineland Boating Center, your authorized Tracker dealer at I-35 and Loop 340 in Waco, or online at marinelandwacoyamaha.com.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
It is the Mosley Show back at Brazos Landing, and this man loves a good Brazos Landing. I think he likes the burger here. There's a lot of, I think he's probably tried the tenders, maybe the BLT. It is time for Fran Fraschilla to join the show. And Fran, good to see you, man. Thank you for doing this. It's great to have you. You hear me okay? I don't think Fran's hearing us, unfortunately. Fran Fraschilla, come in. All right, Fran. I'll text with him. Fran Fraschilla, come in. Do you hear us? All right, let's see here. You think I should tell him to jump out and come back in?
I don't know. It may be that he had his volume down. I don't know.
All right. We'll look at this. We'll continue. He said he hears us fine. Okay. Well, maybe he was hearing us. Just, hey, let me hear from you, Fran. Do you hear you?
What do you? Come on,
oh,
man.
There he is. There he is. Okay. Well, there was.
I showed up. You didn't even let me say hi to Anita Marks, who's a wonderful lady. Been on her show before. Send her my best. And you're eating. Did you eat lunch today at Brazos Landing? Did you eat?
I did. I was thinking you like this place, man, don't you? I think you were Vern Lundquist and maybe Brad Sham.
No,
your wife. Well, you had Chuck with you. Okay.
And Brad, yeah. And 3,000 calories later, and we had a great meal after a Baylor game. Please send my best to the Brazos Landing people.
I will. The Lindsay family, they're right over there as we speak, man.
Yep.
Boy, I tell you, you're looking good. I don't know if you're working out, if you're out running. I don't know what's going on, but this
you know
is
what I did? I walked over
to
Brooklyn. Hey, I walked over to Brooklyn Bridge today.
Did you?
It reminded me, Mose, of that little bridge that you walk over to Brazos, not far from where you are right now. There's a little bridge in downtown Waco. You walk over,
Yeah.
it looks like a mini Brooklyn Bridge. So
the suspension bridge, a very famous bridge here in Waco.
Yep.
Yeah, and you walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. What was that famous steakhouse over there in Brooklyn? Peter something.
Peter Luger's. Yeah. Yep. We'd have gone there Monday night, but it was closed. PJ Carlissimo was going to take us. That's his favorite place, but we had to settle for Italian food. Anyway, can we talk about Baylor basketball in the NBA draft?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I really am. And I tell you, the Cam Carr thing, I was texting you, bothering you. There you are, live television, live ESPN, doing a brilliant job. So great to see you back on there talking about those. I was like wanting you to say those famous Fraschilla phrases, like he's a year away from being a year away. I was kind of looking. I had a couple
last night. By the way, I'm on the second round tonight. You'll actually see me for most of 3 hours, which is, I'm like Jose Alvarado of the Knicks. Like if I play 10 minutes, I'm going to stir some things up. Now tonight I'm getting extended playing time. So.
Jose, I've thought of you. I think that's my new description of you, the Jose Alvarado of ESPN.
Two New Yorkers, two scrappy guys.
That'll be great. That's a whole reason for me to get invested in. I think didn't the Mavericks end up with like the 47th pick? So there's some things. Yeah. There's some things I got to take a peek at, but let's talk about Baylor for a second. Cam Carr. We get so locked into these mock drafts, don't we? That sometimes wait, what's happening or what? But even on ESPN, it was kind of like, well, he was the next guy available, and they kept showing him. And there's always that one story in the green room, and you're just kind of like, man, come on. I hope Cam's going to be okay. All that kind of stuff. And he ends up with the Lakers. This is going to be very exciting and all. But first of all, why do you think he maybe slipped a little bit? Maybe the biggest reason for that. And then what do you think of this fit with the Lakers?
Well, first of all, who says he slipped? In other words, we read all the mock drafts. Who are the mock drafts? right? Who are the mock drafts? Are they inside front offices? No.
No.
They're just people who are taking an educated guess. Now, I thought, Mose, that Cam would be in that 17 to 22 range. And as it turns out, what is it, 24 maybe?
Yes.
And he's going to a place. First of all, do you think he'll enjoy LA as a new Laker? I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Think he'll be a celebrity? He'll probably be a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to play with? Well, he's likely to play with LeBron, and he's definitely playing with Doncic and Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
And I would say it's a great fit. I think particularly playing with Luka Doncic, who's, as you know, if he's not the best player in the world right now, he's certainly in the top 5 and a great passer.
Yeah.
I think it's a great fit. I really do. He's going to learn from some great veterans. He's an explosive athlete. We know what he could do with the shooting. I got to tell you, like when I watched him on tape, and of course I saw him in person, what stuns me is how good a defender he could be. He probably blocked more jump shots than anybody in college basketball last year. So all in all, he probably loses a little money going 24th, but I think the fit is perfect. It's better to go there than to a franchise that doesn't have its act together. Let's put it that way.
Okay. And all those Big 12 players that got taken, and even though there was that flurry of Michigan players, 3 and 4 picks, made you think, oh my gosh, the Big 10 is taking over this draft. Your beloved Big 12 did just fine. In fact, it had the most players taken in that draft. The different folks that went, who were some of the best fits Big 12 wise? Was there anybody that you thought, like even when Kingston, where he went, Kingston goes to Sacramento?
He went to Atlanta.
Atlanta. He goes to Atlanta. I was thinking about another point guard went to Sacramento.
Yeah.
From Arkansas. Who of those Big 12 players, though, did you love the fit the most for? Was there anybody you were just like, this is going to be like just a walk-in incredible spot for this guy?
Well, since my son James is an assistant with the Wizards, I'd have to start out with AJ because they need him, and they're building, obviously. And by the way, he was actually, I probably shouldn't say this, but it's probably not going to get out nationally. He was in Norman last night watching a draft with a guy that he used to work out as a 6th grader when James played at Oklahoma, and that would be Trae Young. So, which is kind of cool. It comes full circle. But no, obviously the 2 top guys, that they're a given. I'm excited to see Darren Peterson and Keontae George. I mean, I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking of Keyshawn George with the Wizards. I get them confused. But Keontae had a great season. I mean, people don't realize this because the Jazz were not good, but Keontae George had a near all-star season. And I think think about that. That's 2 6'6" guys in the backcourt that can both score. I think AJ is a great fit in Washington. I think a really good fit, and I did text last night with Coach Quinn Snyder and assistant coach Mike Bray. Kingston Fleming's in Atlanta is a home run. I love the kid. He's an incredible personality, great family, no baggage, not only low maintenance, but no maintenance, and really a really good young player. So I like what Atlanta did with Kingston. I'm a little partial to him because he's a great young man. I've gotten to know him well. But, all in all, I think everybody – listen, 9 went in the first round. We predicted 9, and 6 more could go tonight in the second round when you think of Sharp – and Uzan and Baba Miller from Cincinnati and, somebody else, Jaden Bradley. There's going to be more Big 12 guys called tonight.
Man, isn't it? You said Baba, and it made me think of FAU. And, our friend John Jacobs is now going to FAU. And honestly, while, I think it was going to be impossible in this environment to win at Dusty's level at FAU, he's still getting great players because everybody's going to get their portal players from FAU. So I think by some measures, he's doing an incredible job there. In fact, he may be recruiting too well because everybody's picking off his players left and right. Let me ask you about Dusty, though. And then I want to get into Merez. But you know all these coaches. Why is Dusty, from what you know, wired. Why do you feel like this has a way better chance maybe than some of these others? You know, honestly, in 2019, and I'm sure you know Beeline better than most people, but that seemed like a weird fit from the minute we heard it because of the way college basketball has gone and even the way this guy kind of functions. And you can actually look at his offenses and some of the sets and some of what he does and probably in your mind say, okay, especially the NBA.
Yeah.
How does that translate? So I guess I'm wondering, in your mind, why do you think maybe this move from college to the NBA will work some better than some of the ones that have not worked so well?
Well, the first answer is Cooper Flag. Because oftentimes when you're Lon Kruger or Freddie Hoiberg, and some others who have failed, they haven't had good teams. Lon Kruger had a terrible team in Atlanta, but more specifically, because Cooper Flag is just one reason. My son who is in the NBA, James, he made a great point to me. He said, Dad, in the NBA, you can't coach angry. You got to coach friendly. And you can hold them accountable, but you have to coach friendly. You're their friend. You're their business partner. Okay. If LeBron James wants you fired, you're getting fired as the coach. That's just how it is. Okay. Giannis, you name them. Superstars have more power than the head coach. In this case, Dusty fits because he has a temperament. We saw it when he coached at Michigan. He has a temperament that lends itself to players liking to play for him. And I think that was even apparent last night because all the comments from the three guys that went in the first round that I saw, they were all very complimentary of Dusty. He's a very bright guy, Mose. He'll adjust the style of play. Like I always tell people this, the NBA and college basketball are like Spanish and Portuguese. They sound alike, but they're two different languages. The NBA is a different sport than college basketball. It's more player-oriented. You got to put the players in. You can't just, we're going to run my offense and that's it. You have to be very flexible with these guys, both on and off the court. Like I said, you're their business partner. They got to know you care about them. And he's got that temperament now. He's got a learning curve. I don't know who's going to put around him on the coaching staff, but they better be mostly NBA people because it is a different language. But I think he's got the making of doing it. There's just no guarantee.
Yeah. And also it seemed like it was reported that all the stuff and the craziness of college basketball, which, by the way, we watch more than ever, and it's a pretty high, great brand of basketball. But I can understand that there are parts of it that coaches are fed up with. And so that may have been part. But you know what? We don't even know the financials yet. I mean, the Mavericks may have bowled him over with an enormous money. And perhaps he had always, in the back of his mind, thought, I'd love to try the NBA someday, and maybe this is my best opportunity. And what you started with is probably the best for you. You got Cooper Flag, and you got the makings of something to really build around there. Now, Mavs Johnson Jr., because unlike some guys that are on certain conferences, you take a holistic view of the rest of the country. And so it's not like you weren't watching a large amount of Michigan games. The thing
12 months a year. 12 months a year, really, seriously.
Yes. And Mavs Johnson Jr., who he transferred in from Illinois. But when I kept seeing and reading things about him recently, one of the things they really bragged on him was we were never going to lose the toughness game. He was going to keep us from getting punked by anybody. And I do think it's important. We also know in the NBA, a lot of times, especially with bigs, we want those guys to be able to shoot. And we asked them to do more than just rebound and defend. He this is, again, he went a little bit sooner than maybe he'd been projected. And now, of course, the question is, how much did Dusty impact this pick? Okay. And we may find out, we may not. But just from what you know about Mavs Johnson Jr., and then knowing this Mavs roster, knowing they have Gafford and Lively. Lively's been hurt a lot. Gafford, they talked about trading.
Right.
What do you think of him as a player? And what is, when we talk about ceilings and that kind of thing, if we're going to say, man, what's the best case scenario for Mavs Johnson Jr.?
He's a home run, man. The more I studied him, the more I talked to people, He worked out in L.A. for 6 weeks with, remember the name Don McClain from UCLA, played in the NBA forever. Don works out those agents draft picks in L.A. And I talked to Don last week, and he confirmed what I thought. I started to really hone in and love Mavs Johnson during the Spurs-Knicks series because I said, this kid could mix it up in this series. He would love mixing it up in this series with, Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby, all those tough guys the Knicks had. He's really, first of all, you're going to find out his intellect and the intelligence on the background, the family stuff is off the charts. He's a great young man, great work ethic. He played USA basketball. He helped USA win the gold medal in the Under-19 World Championships, which, by the way, had Koa Pete, AJ DeBonsa, and Michael Brown on it. Mavs was the one veteran on that team, had already played in college. He's a great kid, and he's a physical, tough, somewhat more skilled than people realize, rebounding defensive menace. And so I think he's going to plug and play early. You mentioned the front line and Gafford and what are they going to do with him? I think PJ's got a long-term deal, if I'm not mistaken. He's got 2-3 more years on his deal. He's just a great piece to a team that's building. By the way, if your Mavs fans in Central Texas are listening, I just watched Kyrie Irving last week at the NBA Top 100 camp, the hat I'm wearing right here, NBA PA camp. And Kyrie was sensational with the players. He seems really motivated to get back on the court. And when you start with Kyrie and Cooper Flag, that's a good beginning. I don't know if Mavs can be an all-star, but he will be, in my mind, a high-level NBA starter.
Okay.
Would you take an Al Horford career?
Oh my gosh.
I know that's a little much. That's a little out of the realm, but because I didn't think Al would play 28 years, but he'd be like Al's first 10 years in the league. That's what I'm expecting out of him.
Wait, could Mavs at some point slip out there and hit a three?
Absolutely. Oh, he did it in college. He did it in college.
Okay.
You look at the numbers, small sample size, but I think he shot near 80% from the foul line. We're not talking about a plumber here, We're not talking, we're not. I know that's AJ Redick. That's JJ Redick's era when he called all those guys in the '60s plumbers. But no. Matt fans are going to love this kid. He brings toughness, quality guy. He's going to be great in the Dallas Metroplex community. And they did a good job, in their first draft.
The Mavericks actually had a player nicknamed the Plumber, and he was on that championship team in 2011. And I think, if I'm thinking correctly, I think it was Brian Cardinal. Remember him?
Oh, of course. Listen, I know Brian well. This guy's way more talented than Brian Cardinal. You tell Brian I said that. Like 10 times more talented. I think he's back at Purdue in fundraising.
When you're talking about players from Spain, do you like to roll the R's? I mean, are you a man that you kind of like? Yeah. So say the name, say Sergio's.
Sergio de la Rey. Sergio de la Rey. How'd I do?
That's good. That's good. That's a man who's traveled overseas a little bit. I trick people all those years on the draft because nobody knew whether I knew the player or not. I just said the name right. De la Rey. Remember, I used to draft and stash guys now. I had a funny line in my head. I thought about writing it a joke earlier today, and I didn't do it. But I feel like there's a joke to be made about Will Wade drafting and stashing some of these guys.
There's a lot of. The only problem is Will is stashing them in Baton Rouge.
That's right.
That's what I'm. And by the way, with regards to De La Rey,
yes,
good player. I don't see stardom for him. The great thing about international guys, and the Mavs have had their share. First of all, he may not come over. He may stay another year. It's possible. I mean, he might be a first-round draft and stash. The Knicks were definitely going to do that, but once the Mavericks got a hold of him, I think that'd be up in the air. But, Mose, the thing about what we've seen over 20 years with the international guys, they all come over. They're all great teammates. They're all great role players. They know their role. They're not trying to be anything they're not. You think of Maxi Kleber, right? I mean, he's a plumber, but he's had an incredible career when he, because he knew his role. This guy knows his role. He can shoot it. He's more of a 2-guard. I'm not big on him playing point guard full time, but nice prospect. He's 20 years old. And I'll give you a little insight. You can look really smart with your friends. His team, Valencia, is up 2-1 in the ACB, it's a Spanish league, finals over the great FC Barcelona. So if they win tonight, that is going to be almost like the Knicks beating the Spurs, because we all thought the Spurs were going to blow away the Knicks. So he's a nice prospect. If he comes over, he's a backup shooting guard.
Okay. So he's not even, like, if we were trying to compare him to Carr from a size standpoint, the comparison could be there, but it sounds like Carr is way closer to being ready to contribute than this.
I wouldn't say so much. I wouldn't say, no, this kid's played 70 games at a level higher than the Big 12 this year.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like, his team would beat Michigan this year by 30, Valencia.
Okay. Yeah.
But to your point, he's not as good, but he reminds me of a young Bogdan Bogdanovic, my Serbian friend. Yes. Well, Bogey had a great career. He's not that good, but he plays that way.
Okay. Man, I love all these comparisons and everything. I'm right across from Foster Pavilion. You'll be happy to know that Scott, after 23 years of friendship, I think he's going to sneak me into one of these practices in the next couple of days. The truth is, I probably could have gone to some of them if I'd have shown up early enough, Fran, but I am going to get in there and take a peek at things. You're always got your ear to the ground. You're also a man that occasionally sneak into Waco and take a peek with your own eyes. But with the Mingo brothers, with Isaiah, with them signing Isaiah, and then obviously the Brett Decker kid that's going to be a nice 3-point shooter and everything.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think people are going too crazy over this team because I'm not really seeing them in the top 25. But can you paint me you're a very optimistic and a positive person. Now knowing what this roster kind of looks like and what it will hopefully look like, what's kind of the best case scenario in your mind?
I haven't studied the whole league yet. I have looked at what's going on. I do keep up with it. And I think when I was looking at the league last week, I said, Baylor could be in the top 6. And that means NCAA tournament. Don't forget my man Williams, Monty Williams' son, is terrific. Can't think of his first name right now. Elijah, of course. Yeah. Elijah's a great kid. He's a great glue guy. He's a talented glue guy. Let's put it that way. He's not just a glue guy. He's going to hustle. He's got a lot of skill. I think the backcourt with the Mingo brothers, Isaac Williams, the big guys seem to be coming along. Bodo, I hear, is getting healthy. The big kid from Jersey, Mayo, who they redshirted, I think has a chance. I think it's going to be a good group. I don't think the league is going to be overwhelming like it was last year. I think it's going to be good. There's going to be some teams like Arizona, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas with Tyron Stokes. But I think Baylor's going to be a level better than they were last year. I do sense there's a greater commitment to, as you know, the behind-the-scenes stuff with the NIL. And I think getting Jonathan how do we say John?
Yeah,
I can't believe I said it 10,000 times.
I know.
Having JTT back is big time. I heard that news today. The underrated hire here is Jake Lindsey. Jake Lindsey knows basketball. He knows the NIL, and he certainly knows talent. When I was working on the NBA draft when Jake played, I used to ask him about all the draft picks he played against that year. How's the kid at Louisville? I'd ask him. How's the kid at Kansas? Who gives you the most trouble? Jake's got a brilliant mind for evaluation. He's a great addition. But I think Baylor's better. I can't tell how much better right now. I'll be down in July. I'll meet you at Brazos Landing for lunch, and then we'll see together. But I think they're going to be better.
All right, and then the Heat doing their deal for Giannis. I just kind of want to get your thought on. Okay, put it in the context of you seeing what everybody did in the draft, and then knowing the Bucks end up with a couple of picks last night at 10 and 13. But one, how much better? I mean, Giannis is still awesome. We got if he stays on the court, right? And then he's got Bam, and then Pat will try to put other players around them.
Right.
Like, how big a deal was that? Like, is that like a sea change? Is that like oh my gosh, that's a huge deal? Sometimes we overestimate things. And then also, I was curious just what you thought, like, who helped themselves the most in that draft last night, at least, and obviously knowing we have more coming tonight.
I think, well, first of all, Milwaukee did a great job in that trade. They knew they were moving Giannis. Time had come. I think it was kind of an amicable divorce, and Milwaukee got assets right away. They got some good players. Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, good role player. Tyler Hero is a bucket. He's from Wisconsin. They're not sure they're going to keep him. I think they got at least 2 or 3 first-round picks. They got an extra one last night. And then, Miami's always in win now mode. So depending who they can put around Giannis and Bam Adebayo will tell the tale. They're obviously 2 great players, but they're going to need to put some depth around them. Norman Powell's a really good player. He's a free agent. So Miami still got their work cut out for them. But Milwaukee, who's transitioned quickly to a rebuilding mode, I thought did really well last night with their picks. So if I had to give a slight edge to I'd say Milwaukee, for where they are, got a little bit more out of this deal than Miami did, even though Giannis is a great player.
Okay. And do you have a World Cup pick for us? I mean, you're a man of the world. The fact that you can say all these European names, and you have been the expert at ESPN for the better part of 20 to 30 years now. On that front, can you give me who's your World Cup? Who's your pick? And you can't. I mean, I guess you could say Team US, but that would look very homerish.
Yeah, that would look cheesy. That would be cheesy if I did that. I'd be the ugly American, right? If I did that, but I am rooting for them. You know what's funny is Cape Verde still alive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love what they're. There's like 250,000 people on the island of Cape Verde in the middle of the Atlantic between South America and Africa. Do you know where Cape Verde was until the World Cup?
No, I didn't have a great feel for Cape Verde, but I like to call it. I noticed they write it as sometimes as Cabo Verde, and I kind of like to say that too.
There's more people in the Massachusetts, Rhode Island area from Cape Verde than there are on Cape Verde. Big population. Honestly, big population. I will tell you this: what's really been fun for me. How many? Like, I've been here for like 5 or 6 days in Brooklyn, where I grew up, by the way, and the amount of tourists that are here for the World Cup in Jersey is phenomenal. And I ask everybody I see when they're wearing their Argentina jersey or their German jersey, hey, how do you like New York? How do you like America? These people are having a blast, These people like America more than some of the people I know in America like America. So, you know how I feel. I just gave away how I feel.
Yeah.
But, it's fun. And I can be honest in Central Texas. You know what I mean? You got Pete Sessions elected to Congress. That tells you something. But I'm just joking. He used to be my congressman. But anyway,
he got beat by Baylor. He got beat by a former Baylor football player in the Metroplex, and then he returned home to Central Texas. Pete's a buddy of mine too, so I can joke with him. But yeah, he did have to leave us in Dallas to go get reelected.
No, but seriously, like this World Cup is kind of captivating a lot of people. It's kind of cool,
Yeah, and these scenes are wild out in the streets and the Dutch.
So far so good, man. Seriously, I mean that sincerely. Let's hope for good luck. Nothing crazy. No nonsense with the terrorist attacks or anything. And this will lead up to an amazing last couple weeks in July. Yeah. It really will.
It's just nice to finally see some elite teams at AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
and play real football. Not that sissy-fied American version. Real football.
All right. Thank you for your patience. And
Hey,
I love having you, man. And we were watching tonight. Who's the pick tonight? Give me your who picked tonight will be the breakout. Is there anybody in your mind that'll pick tonight that will be the next Jalen Brunson?
Ooh, if I had to go, well, I can't go guard. I can't think of it off my top of my head, but I will tell you, like Henry Vasar from North Carolina, who we saw last year. I love that kid. He's 7 feet, got a little ruggedness to him. I really like him. I'll tell you what, Jaden Bradley from Arizona, the Big 12 Player of the Year. Yeah. He's your next TJ McConnell. He's not going to be Jalen Brunson, but he's going to have a long career. He'd be a nice Mav. Be a nice guy to back up Kyrie for a couple of years.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, Brad.
Winner.
Yeah,
Winner.
That's right. Sometimes it's nice to take a winner. Brunson won a few games in his career, and so that
whatever happened to the Brunson Doncic duo, man? Isn't that so sad?
that they were in the same draft class. On the same team. Goodness. It's not like we didn't have evidence that they were good together. Now, again,
hey, I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this, Mose. William Goldman was a very famous Hollywood producer, right? He was the GOAT. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Marathon Man. And when he had a movie coming out, someone asked him, "How do you think the movie's going to do?" And he said, "Nobody knows anything." And this was the GOAT. And that basically means like, you can last night like wax poetic and all these great players that went in the first round. Jalen Brunson goes 33rd. Draymond went 35th. Do we really know? And the answer is no, we don't.
Yeah, but on TV, you kind of have to act like you know.
I know. Some of us do. Some of us know it all. Not me.
No,
I'm the everyman. See ya.
The everyman. That's right, Fran Fraschilla. All right, have a great night. All right. There he goes. Fran Fraschilla on the Mosley Show here with Kevin Hoosier Hall at Brazos Landing. Man, we went from Amy Lawrence, the longtime radio show host from ESPN, CBS, several other outlets, right into Fran. So great to have Fran on. And we have a lot more for you. And we're going to react, give you some of our winners and losers. We'll do some campus confidential. We'll react to it all. We'll do it next.
Make this the summer event at Allen Samuels in Waco. Get a new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie with 0% for 60 months or 2.9% for 72 months, plus $13,500 off MSRP. Or step up to a new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie diesel and save $13,500 off. Both have America's best truck warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain. Allen Samuels in Waco.
Come by, let's be friends.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't click on links in emails and text messages. Scammers send emails and texts that look real, saying there's a problem with your account or your order. Don't click. Don't do it, ever. Instead, go directly to the company's website and log in there.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information. With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Dive into adventure with scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com. Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. Samsonite.
So all you have to do is tap your Popple to the back of someone's phone, like that, and they instantly get your social media and contact info right on their screen. They don't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. So get your Popple today and start impressing everyone you meet. Make it pop.
Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Golf Partner, overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com.
It is the Mosley Show, and we are, I've been, this is where I'm not, my radio background comes in, Kev.
What's that?
This entire time, really, what I should do, even during that interview with Fran Fraschilla, I should be like looking at the camera, like a good TV man. And of course, when I'm looking to Fran on the deal, I can't help but just sit there and stare at him.
But see, I did what I needed to, because I positioned the camera so at least it kind of looks like you're looking at him.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I always keep that in mind.
The whole time I was like, and then after we were done, I was like, I never even looked at the camera.
I try to be a good producer as much as possible.
You do a nice job, and you have to occasionally put up with my outburst. And the good thing about me is that I do come down from my outburst pretty quickly, but every once in a while I get a little worked up. But thank you. Okay, the breaking news from earlier today, NBA wise, Kev, is that the Lakers star Austin Reeves intends to sign, this is according to Shams Charania, intends to sign a 4-year, $185 million max contract to return to the franchise with a player option for the final season in 29-30. He declined his $14.9 million player option. I think that was probably a good decision on his part. I don't know. I was trying to think of the NBA like a faster come up than that. Brunson certainly went from kind of like he would have taken a 4-year, $55 million from the Mavs to getting a massive deal with the Knicks. And later he took less money. We saw the other day somebody took a little less money. I think Brunson actually took quite a bit less to help the Knicks out. I don't think Trey was quite as benevolent, but I do think Trey took a little less. Reeves is one of those guys that, I remember when he played at Oklahoma, and he was a fun guy to watch. He was just kind of he was a guy that could score and just had a little bit of he played with a flair, and so he was kind of fun to watch. And that was probably back when Baylor was great. Nothing about him made you think, oh my gosh, like NBA, he's going to get like a monster deal in the NBA. And sometimes just timing helps. They needed someone like him. He's been so smart one of the things he needed to do is he broke out before Luka, right? Reeves started becoming like, whoa, wait a second. This is different than what we thought. Like Reeves is like a 20 point per game guy. But he had the good sense to, like, when Luka showed up on the scene, and I don't know if he tried to do this or that relationship happened naturally, but that became like a great friendship immediately.
Yeah.
How smart is that? Like, if the monster of the franchise, you might as well become buddies with him. And I think he's got a fine relationship with LeBron.
Yeah.
But I promise you, at some point that gets a little awkward because LeBron probably is one of those superstars that sort of demands total loyalty.
Right.
You know, like you're either my guy or you're somebody else's guy.
Yeah.
And I think Austin realized real quickly, I'm a Luka guy.
If you have to pick somebody to carpool with, Luka's not a bad option. He's got some pretty good car collection there.
Yeah. And now Austin can afford it.
Yeah. now they can ride share appropriately.
Yeah. I mean, it's says his agreement has no impact on the Lakers' cap flexibility this summer as the team's projected salary space takes into account Reeves's $20.9 million cap hold. He will sign last after the Lakers exhaust room and will make $41.3 million in the first year. I mean,
does anything affect the Lakers cap room? They have the extra money. They can use the apron, whatever they need to do.
No, you're right, but they can go in the second apron, but they still, for whatever reason, I mean, the NBA still has prohibitive enough rules that, unlike baseball,
right,
where the Dodgers and used to be the Red Sox, and
you got a rich
Yankees,
owner, you're just going to be able to do whatever you want. Yeah,
you just beat the hell out of everybody with the money. You just money whip everybody.
Yeah.
You can't quite do that in the NBA,
right?
But I think you're right. Not all things are equal, and there are some smaller markets that are like, no, we're not doing second apron.
Yeah.
But I think what really irritates fans is when they're in a big, huge market and they've got an owner saying, no, I'm not doing second apron. We're not doing that. It's like, really. Oh, and then there's, before we get to some Campus Confidential, there's the curious case of Mike and Nori. When we announced that yesterday, it was like we just didn't have time. We just said it real quick at the end of the show. And Corey, the owner, founder of Rogue, he's a big Trailblazers guy. He used to work for him a little bit. Now he does like a podcast involving them. So they hired the assistant from the Timberwolves, Mike Nori.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, that's a good hire. Like, I think from what I can tell, that's a very accomplished guy that's probably ready for that. What I didn't zero in on when I just kind of saw the headline and we moved on yesterday is the contract that coach signed. Have you seen that?
No.
And the Portland owner, isn't he that one that's notoriously cheap on stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. His contract is a 1-year deal with like team options after that. I've never, I mean, now, you have interim coaches who are just kind of, getting you through a year and all that kind of stuff. But I've never seen somebody sign a contract for a 1-year deal. And like, I would imagine almost every other coaching agent in the world, especially in the NBA, is sitting there. What are you doing? Like and so maybe we'll find out more to this story. But for now, it looks like that guy just signed one of the worst contracts in NBA history. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to get into the kind of the winners and losers of the draft, but I also love doing Campus Confidential. And so I know there's probably some different ways you want to go with this. So let's do some Campus Confidential.
All right.
By the way, thank you, C&B. Thank you, Central National Bank. Brian Fondle, if you're out there, executive. He's one of the top
not
executives.
Here. He's working at the.
No, but
he's working the bank.
I think you're right. You're acting like he's at a teller.
No, but he probably has the bank to worry about, and doesn't have time on a Wednesday afternoon to just.
What I think, but what I meant, I was addressing him as if he were out there listening, like our audience. because
you can speak directly to the camera now. Because,
good.
Yeah.
Brian, I want you to come down here to the Brazos Landing, have a drink, and take part in this fun show. By the way, and I'm gonna look at this camera. Here's one thing I'm not going to do, and maybe I did it, but I'll never do this again. After hearing Stephen A. and all these people apologize to Jalen Brunson, I've now decided that is the most narcissistic, ridiculous thing that we do in the media is apologize to people as if Jalen Brunson, who just won the finals MVP, cares.
But should.
And I'm saying I don't think he cares. But that they wanted that Becky Hammond to apologize, and she had that infamous statement, he's too little and he's not. She wasn't the only one, but they brought that out. And she got hammered for it, especially him winning it all and being the finals MVP and all that kind of stuff. And she said, no, I'm not going to apologize for having an opinion. She's right.
Mm-hmm.
She's right. Why do people go around? Okay, I even saw it. I can't remember if it was Shaq or Kenny or somebody. Jalen, I just have to apologize to you. We're in the media. We're paid to come up with opinions and thoughts and react to stories and all. We should not be going around making apologies to people. It's so gross and dumb. And by saying I'm apologizing, you're basically saying
you think you were wrong.
Well, not even just that. I'm so big that this star will care about my apology.
Right.
All right. So I am officially today taking a stance against apologies. Now, don't hear me wrong. Husbands out there, apologize to your wives, even when you don't think you're wrong. A lot of times, you just have to apologize. And you've seen that with me, Kevin, the few times we've had some spats. All I'm looking for is a simple apology. And finally, one time I said, Kevin, all I want is for you to say I'm sorry. And you said, well, I'm sorry. And I was like, we're okay now. But as men, we don't do it very well. We want to
I'm glad you're fleshing this out, because I will never apologize to Jalen Brunson. So there you go.
But you can't apologize to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Early and often. All right. So
yes.
the draft last night.
Oh, we're not going Campus Confidential?
No, we are.
Okay.
We are.
All
but
right.
I just thought that at some point,
okay.
I thought you might even be hitting on a few draft related things in Campus Confidential. But there's the logo.
Yeah.
We have the logo up. Let's do some Campus Confidential. What's on your mind?
We've talked about basketball, but let's go transition to football. BetMGM came out with their win totals for the conferences. So let's start with my beloved Big Ten and take a look at the win totals for the Big Ten in football this year. And I wanted to get your thoughts on if these are accurate or not.
I want to remind you, and I don't know if you have Big 12 or not.
I do. We'll go there next.
I've got a couple there and I think the scary thing is, I
wanted a soft launch for it.
I probably know a little bit too much about the Big 12, and that makes me dangerous as a gambler, because I think sometimes the more you think you know,
right,
the worse it is. Look,
just ask Brendan Sorsby. I'm sorry.
It's too soon.
Too soon. Yeah.
This guy's at the NBA draft right now. By the way, don't you love this bar? This is a beautiful bar where we're doing the show.
Yes, they're not showing the World Cup, though. I still have to watch the World Cup and monitor it on my phone.
You didn't love that ESPN
the one
coverage?
The 5 minutes?
Who'd they have on there talking about it? It was
Jeremy Schaap.
Yeah, and somebody I didn't recognize.
It's the former goalie before Tim Howard.
I think I look old.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're before Tim Howard, you would be old. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Big Ten football,
mm-hmm.
2026 win totals. All right, let me tell you the ones that I think are too high, and then I'll tell you the ones I think people should get in on. I would never bet anything involving Nebraska football. I would run from that.
Why?
because we just constantly hear that Rules turn it around, or this guy's turned it around, or Frost is going to turn it around, and they just never get it turned around. So I just think when you have a program that really never turns the corner, why would you year after year be trying to bet the over? Like, oh, this is the year. This is the year. So what I'm saying is I like Rule enough to not bet the under, but I don't love the program or anything about it enough to take the over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that the gap between possibilities is too far.
I did, people like, well, I don't take advice from people that don't gamble. I don't gamble anymore. I at one point, many years ago, I knew the game.
Did you go to rehab?
Let's stop with your Sorsby jokes. No, I was back at a time where you're just like, no, I ran out of money. I can't bet anymore. I can't. There's no rehab for that. There's just you have zero in your bank account. Okay. I think that's a low number for Washington, especially with a semi-elite quarterback. And they had to basically shame him into coming back and threaten him with lawsuits, but he is back. So I would say I love the over on the Washington 7.5. And by the way, this is the real thing. This is BetMGM.
Yeah.
These are the real people. All right. This is not on. I guess what I wanted to say is this is not on 3 does a bunch of stuff.
Right.
This is a more
just they put it out there.
Vegas type thing.
Yeah. This is one of many because there is, all the different betting sites. But yes,
I would probably, I have a very hard time not taking the over on Ohio State at 9.5. I think given their past and given what Ryan Day's done there, given the fact they have an experienced quarterback coming back, that's an awfully low number for Ohio State. It's only there because we have a new bully on the block, and that is your Indiana Hoosiers. That's the only reason Ohio State is 9.5. And I don't even know if they play each other this season.
Well, Ohio State's schedule, yes, they do play each other. Ohio State's schedule, they play not only Texas, but they have a stretch where they have to go Oregon, IU, and Michigan, and, of course, and Penn State. So they have to play everyone at the top there, I think.
Yeah. The only ones I feel pretty strongly about is I would take the over on Washington, and I would take the over on USC. And part of that, I will admit, is I'm not a Lincoln guy, but I am a Gary Patterson guy, and that is their defensive coordinator. And I believe in him, and I think he's going to do a great job. And again, I go where the quarterback is. I know you kind of like that Michigan quarterback. To me, I still don't trust him. He's very talented. He's fun to watch. I do not trust him. I don't know what Matt Campbell has at quarterback. I know he's taken a bunch of Iowa State people with him, but I don't know what he has. So I would just say I like USC over, and I like Washington over.
All right.
Anything you love here?
Well, I honestly don't love Indiana at the top. I wish someone else would be at the top because
they're tied. I mean, they're tied.
I'd like it to go under the radar.
You can't go under the radar when you win a national title, sir.
I don't know. I think UCLA is going to be higher than they are. That's the one that sticks out to me most is UCLA at 6.5. I would think that would be over. Illinois, I'm not sure. Iowa, I'm not sure either. Surely one of those teams at the bottom can do better, but I don't know that they will. So I think everything makes sense where it's at for the most part. UCLA sticks out to me.
All right. What else do we have?
What do you think about the Big 12? You said you had thoughts. Let's hear your thoughts.
Honestly, given where some people, the disrespect they've had for Baylor, I'm kind of shocked that BetMGM has Baylor on the same win total level as TCU and Arizona State.
Yeah.
Because I think the consensus among like experts / sports writers, broadcasters, would have TCU and Arizona State ahead of Baylor. So for those three to be there at 6.5, so what I would tell you is I like, I do like that Kansas coach. As down as they've been, we don't know who they're going to have at quarterback is one of the problems. Okay, here's what I would do. I love the Oklahoma State over. I mean, this is kind of almost Signetti light. It's like he's coming from UNT. He's coming bearing gifts with a bunch of his players, and he's showing up with a potential top 5 quarterback in the country. That, to me, that's a huge value pick. So I would take the over on Oklahoma State, and then I would take the over on Arizona State because I think Dillingham's a tremendous coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes you've got to give great coaches the benefit of the doubt. Now, they did that for Sonny for a while, but TCU's kind of been down for a few years since they played for the national title. Of the others, if I was going to take an under, I think that 8.5 for Kansas State is way too high. Not that I don't think the guy might do a nice job there. He's their favorite son. He's a great Colin Klein, was a great quarterback there. I think he'll eventually do fine. Give me the under on the 8.5 with K-State. And then I would probably take the overs. Now, somebody's got to be good in this league. And I think you got to decide, okay, is it U of H or is it BYU? And then the question becomes, it's easier for you. Do we think BYU and U of H are like on the exact same level? If you think that, I would take the U of H bet and go over. If you still think BYU is better, and here's the one reason I think BYU is better, because I do think U of H has gotten pretty good. I like that quarterback at BYU.
Okay.
He's just kind of a swashbuckling. He'll run right over you. He doesn't throw it beautifully, but he throws it well enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's just a flat-out winner. So give me the over on the 8.5 for BYU. Everything else I'll leave alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that it's a little strange because this was done before the Sorsby stuff. So I don't think we have any idea really what Tech can be. And we've seen several coaching rankings that hasn't respected Joey McGuire enough. And so you're not going to respect Joey McGuire, but at the same time, you're going to put Tech at the top when they lost their QB. I don't know how all that works out. I think BYU is the clear second. I don't know why they have Utah as high as they do, along with Kansas State. And as you mentioned, Arizona State and Oklahoma State as low as they do. So I think that's kind of, where my head goes, similar to you, but I'm kind of looking at the top going, I don't know if we really know what Texas Tech really is, aside from it's a bunch of money. They lost a whole bunch of their defense in the draft. And apparently people don't respect Joey McGuire. So I don't know. And they lost their QB. So I don't know what, honestly. So I would put BYU right up tied with Tech. And I would probably put it at about, at 10.5 for both of them.
Did Oregon and Indiana both have 10.5? Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. You raised a good point. 11.5.
But once again, this is done before Sorsby, before all of, I mean, who knows exactly.
Wait a second. Surely the bet you've grabbed a bet MGM post Sorsby. Are you saying this is pre-Sorsby?
This is pre-Sorsby. This is what they on 3 put up before pre-Sorsby. So
no, this is not on 3. You mean
this is
bet MGM?
Yeah.
Oh, on 3 posted.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They're using bet MGM.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to see what the new win total is for Tech. My guess is it's come down at least a game. at least a game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anybody else has come up. I do not think BYU is on Tech's level from a talent perspective. But the one thing I'll give you on what you just said is that Bear Bachmeier, the BYU quarterback, is going to have more experience and just be a better overall quarterback than Will Hammond or whoever Tech rolls out there.
Yeah.
So I think that is I think that's a good one. What else do you have for me?
That's it for today.
All right.
I know we need to get back to some of the draft stuff.
Yeah, and we'll do that. And the winners and losers from last night's draft. And, oh, by the way, we need to bring up Baylor has made an addition to its coaching staff. And we saw one of the assistant coaches was here earlier today. The great Tweety Carter was on site here at Brazos Landing, and it was good to see him. Baylor has a new assistant coach, and it's a familiar name, and it's an exciting name. We'll talk about that, and then I will give you the winners and losers from last night's NBA draft next.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
Celebrate America's 250th with Marineland Boating Center. We have Yamaha boats and wave runners in stock and ready for summer fun with great prices, easy financing, and expert service to get you on the water. Join us during the week of July 4th featuring special savings on Yamaha boats and wave runners, giveaways, and family-friendly fun. Visit Marineland Boating Center, your authorized Yamaha dealer at I-35 and Loop 340 in Waco, or online at MarinelandWacoYamaha.com.
Have you heard the latest about CTWP? Let me tell you. How about 2 cents for a color copy? Only Kyocera offers. Don't believe me? Do you really copy your dog? Grab your paperwork and let's compare. I guarantee CTWP has the best prices and service.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to CentralTexasCattleBaronsBall.org.
Is the Mosley Show with Kevin Hoosier Hall. Here we are. There's the old Mosley right behind me, the big board, the Mosley board. Good to see it out and about, and it'll be out Friday. We'll be out at Marineland Boating Center, and we're thankful today. We had a big-time guest. We had Fran Fraschilla on with us. Amy Lawrence, new member of the Rogue family. She's had all kinds of national shows for years and was quite a trailblazer in the world of broadcasting, and so good to have her. And so we had a nice little visit with Amy, and so we've had good guests, we've had good food, we've had good friends, and this has been a great. And I did want, in fact, we're going to do the winners and losers here. I did want. I wanted Becky to come up here for a second, Kevin. Sorry, I forgot to tell you real quick. The proprietor here at the Brazos Landing, I did want to visit with her today for just a second.
All right.
And then we'll do our winners and losers. But I wanted to, before she had to leave, I wanted to visit with her. I'll tell you what we'll do while she makes her way up here. I just want to. There are teams I think did great. And there are teams that didn't do so great, and I'm gonna tell you about that. We're watching, and Becky Lindsay is making her way up here as we speak. And I was afraid she might have to leave, and so I'll get into the winners and losers of the NBA draft last night. I mean, Becky may have some thoughts herself on the NBA draft. And there she is. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to the Bourbon Street Bar. I mean, you own the place. You know this place, but this is a fun TV set. It's been a nice lunch crowd today. And Becky Lindsay, we are so appreciative of our time here and love the food, love the atmosphere. And I was telling Kevin Hall that love the bunting. I think we're kind of getting in that 4th of July mode, and nothing says 4th of July, baseball, apple pie, like some good red, white, and blue bunting. So
absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm a patriot. I love celebrating 250 years. That's awesome.
It is. And I've even seen in my neighborhood some of the normally I like the U.S. flag to remain kind of the U.S. flag without like doing too much to it. But there's some really nice ones that have somehow the 250. And so those are okay. I'm not that my neighbors ask for my approval on things, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. But Becky, this is an exciting time because we have we're in the midst of summer, but we got football season on the way. We just had the NBA draft. It was fun to have John here earlier today. Tweety Carter, one of all our favorites, one of the great all-time Baylor players, now an assistant coach. And I think today I had Fran Fraschilla on, who's eaten here before and loves this place. And Fran was talking about how, like, underrated the move was to bring Jake Lindsay onto the staff. By the way, not related to Becky, but she is very close to the Lindsay family, and Jake's dad, Dennis Lindsay, who is the assistant GM now for the Detroit Pistons. She basically helped raise him when he was at Baylor and took good care of him. That's got to be neat for you, Becky, to see not only Jake play here, but now return to for years we were like, could we bring Dennis back, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like, let's bring Jake back. And I think it's going to be a really good thing for the basketball program.
I do too, and he's real excited to be back. Which Jake's a good guy. He's still a kid to me, but he's a good guy. And we go back a long, long way with the Lindsays. And I'm Becky Lindsay number 1, and Dennis's wife is Becky Lindsay number 2. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, Jake will do a really good job. He's real articulate, and I think he'll do a really good job for Butler. I'm excited to have him back.
What are you all with 4th of July coming up? What is at the Brazos Landing? Because that's a time everybody loves to get out and grill and do all the fun stuff and everything. But the summer months here, what are y'all? Because obviously we'll get hot and heavy with football, and hopefully this is going to be a year they turn it around. We were just looking at the Vegas totals, and they have Baylor winning, like they set the over-under, and they said 6.5. So hopefully it will be over, and this will be a fun year, and they have DJ Lagway, and it'll be a fun quarterback and all. But during the summer months, even though it gets a little warm here, still a fun place to come to Brazos Landing, and it just seems like y'all – every month's a fun month here. It's not like there's ever like, oh, this is a slow month or anything. It seems like people always enjoy coming here.
Well, we try to do a few things different. Like for 4th of July, I will do a couple of specials, and we're going to do a special dessert because, all of our desserts are homemade. So she's going to do a red, white, and blue cake. And, we're going to do some different things. We have misters here. It's hot as blue blazes in Texas, but we have our misters and our fans. And so people really usually don't complain. I guess we're a little cooler on the river than normal.
Yeah.
It's been so much humidity lately that it's been kind of weird.
Yeah.
But that's kind of gone. We're going to have just hot now. But yeah, I think what's interesting, and I told John this morning, I think what's interesting here is we evaluate our menu all the time. Everything's homemade, and so we can do that. Nothing comes in a bag. But if we're not selling, if one item's not selling or we're bored with it, it comes off. We redo it. We bring something else on, and we're trying to bring another different kind of fish on right now. We're kind of having problems with our supplier, but we're going to get it. And so I think we try to, it's for my staff as much as it is for anybody else. I don't want anybody to be bored. There you go. And so we try to do some different things, like we're doing the chicken Caesar wrap that we've never done before. I call it for the Lululemons, but it's a nice lunch feature, you know, and people love it. It's great. And so, I don't know, we just try to do, I think variety's the spice of life, right?
Yeah.
So we try to do some different things like that. And I don't know, the restaurant industry is not easy, and I don't know if we do everything right or not, but I'm still amazed that people come in that have been in Waco all their life. They say, I've never been here. I'm like, you're kidding, right?
Interesting.
Because we're 15 minutes in Waco. You know, you live in Dallas, it's a little different, but in Waco, really? But I want to tell you one thing I'm excited about now.
What's that?
So the football, I guess it was the offensive line, one of the coaches and 3 or 4 of the backs came in a week or so ago. They are some big boys. And I know I worked with the team for 20 years. And I was so excited to see some big boys. And so I'm really kind of fired up about football this year. I haven't been fired up the last year or so, but I'm telling you, I am fired up about it. I think it's going to be a good year. I just have that feeling, you know?
And the thing that I love about this is that you're not someone who fakes enthusiasm.
No.
And if you thought it was going to be a rough year, you would say that. But that's kind of nice to know, even just from the look of some of these players. And that's another thing about Brazos Landing. They have an unbelievable relationship with Baylor over the years, and Baylor keeps coming back to them over and over and over. And
we're blessed.
They want to have food catered from Brazos Landing. So y'all can do that, but also have a full house for a restaurant. So it's kind of amazing at a time, especially in the Dallas area, where everything is being taken over by private equity. And by the way, that's happening right even here in Waco, Texas. Private equity comes in, takes over restaurant groups and all of that. You and Claude been here all your lives, and this place means the world to you, and you've poured a lot into it. And so there may be a time when you decide you don't want to be in the restaurant business anymore. But boy, as long as you have been, y'all jumped. And so you were able to breathe life into this place that's kind of been a special place for years, but needed somebody to get behind it. And boy, y'all did it in a big way. So congratulations.
Well,
I like that back deck. Y'all have even done some things. The porch. Yeah. What y'all do to it? Because I walked out there recently and I was like, man, this looks really neat.
I kind of redid everything. I redid the banister.
Okay.
I redid the floor.
Yeah.
I put really pretty sidewalk effect, like the canopies and the lights and the tables and chairs we painted. And it's kind of like being on a sidewalk, whatever, maybe in New Orleans. I don't know. But, you know, it's we misted it. We fanned it. It's nice to sit out there. A lot of pretty plants. As long as I don't look at them, they'll stay that way. You know, if I water them, they'll die. But just it's just a kind of a totally different look. I just wanted to utilize the space and be different. The thing about our restaurant is there's so many different areas. We're not formal at all. But if you want to sit in the French Quarter where no kids, it's great. If you want to be out on the Swamp Shack, you know, with a bar, it's great. If you want to be on the porch and have lunch or have whatever, it's great.
Yeah.
If you want to be inside with kids is one side, not with, you know, we just have so many different areas.
Well, in Dallas, we're landlocked. And even at pretty lakes like White Rock Lake, nobody can put a business there.
Right.
And so there is no way to sit out and look at the water. And so honestly, when I come here, that's one of the things I value the most. And there's probably only one other place in Waco that's out on the water, and even that one is kind of removed from the water, and you guys are like right on it. So I love that about it. By the way, what is all this happening over by the pavilion? Because fortunately, that's not really impacting y'all too much.
No, except for the styrofoam cups. They're doing the river walk, which is on our side, is going to be duplicated on that side exactly.
By Foster Pavilion.
Yes, it will go from Franklin Avenue to the law school. Then I haven't seen the plans, but they tell me that there will be a fountain, I think, there, and that there will be a dock that will be placed there so that Coach Drew wants me to buy a boat, and he wants me to bring basketball fans from. They come in here and eat, then they get on my boat, and then I take them over to the game. They park here. Well, that's great. I would love to do that, but right now I can't. Where would I put you out in the water? You'd have to swim.
We'd have to have an actual. But they're thinking about putting a dock.
But there is supposed to be a dock there at some point.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told. I don't know.
I'd be shocked to hear the Lindsays don't already own a boat.
we own several boats, but the point is, my underwear bar has six boat slips or ties, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Docks where you can tie off, and so there wouldn't be a problem, having a boat here to where you could do that, and which would kind of be a cool feature.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be over with Sorley Friday over at Marineland.
Well, there you go.
We could somehow work all this out.
There you go.
But
tell Ken I need a boat.
I bet and we could put some like green and gold on it and do some fun stuff with it. Yeah. Well, thank you for being the consummate host that you are. Claude's a great friend of mine, your husband as well, and it's awesome to see him. Preacher's always in here eating, and he's a friend, and so. People, you have a lot of regulars, but you also, like you said, have people discovering it for the first time. And then I think what happens is there's this whole new, and I just was with a buddy earlier today, my best friend from growing up in my little hometown of Kaufman. He's sending his daughter to Baylor. So you got line camp, orientation, and you have new families.
That's right.
Some of them that didn't go to Baylor getting to know this area for the first time.
That's
so
right.
I think Brazos Landing is a great place for them to hang out.
Hopefully so.
Yeah.
But great always to have you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Always make the day special. So
well,
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I try not to call you all the time, but I do love catching up with you.
Well, I love it too.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We'll let Kevin come back on here. He has comments on the draft. And Becky, we're going to watch you on your way out because we have included all sorts of wires here. So you just go, be very safe there. All right. I just want to make sure we're on our liability insurance.
We made it. We have insurance.
That's right. There she goes, Becky Lindsay, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of the Brazos Landing. And by the way, Kev, do you have any clue how far that bear trail goes? That direction?
No. She said Franklin, right?
Well, the new one
that
they're building, so I don't know how long this one goes. I may take it today. I may just walk as far as I can get.
Yeah, I think the construction workers would appreciate that more than you just watching them and giving them advice.
I do think I need to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're the landing. It's the landing, and we're at the landing. So this is where we finish the show each day, and that's always fun. And by the way, today is. I guess we can do it tomorrow because is today Thursday? Yeah.
No, today's Wednesday.
Oh, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll do our Schmaltz's trivia question. All right. I wanted to run this by you. I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
One of the groups I follow, they were doing their winners and losers from the NBA draft.
Right.
And they said loser Indiana Pacers. And I thought, well that's
because they didn't have a draft pick. We knew that they lost the lottery. Therefore, I guess they lost the draft, right?
There's no use crying over spilled milk, I know, but seeing all of the teams moving up and down and in and out of the draft reminded me of the sort of shakeup that Kevin Pritchard would have led back in the day. Imagine what Pritchard would have done if he'd widened the protections on the Pacers pick even just a little bit at the deadline. Alas, this almost sounds like a Pacers fan. But that had to be a little bit.
I told you last night, as Cameron Carr slipped, the whole Pacers sphere was like, come on, Kevin. Come on, Pritchard. Let's get up and get him. Of course, they have nothing. They don't have a draft pick at all. So it would have had to have been a future or a player or whatever. So
yeah. But maybe when you see the big man, you're going to be.
Zubac is already working with Hallie, and it's going to be great.
Okay. All right. Loser. And I'll see if anybody agrees with this. Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh, because they got Yaxel.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, it says the Thunder are gearing up for what could be a perennial battle for the future and they're going to match size with size. Mara, who was selected 12th, will immediately be an imposition in the painted area.
Right, gotcha.
There just aren't many players in league history who've combined his enormity, hand-eye coordination, and instincts on both ends of the floor. Says Hartenstein is one of the better passing big men in the league, but Mara has the potential to be a special as a 7'3" distribution hub. Hartenstein plays physical, smart, reactive defense, but Mara's dimensions could make him a productive defender, killing the germ of an idea around the basket before it ever sees.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It wasn't Hartenstein that went into a hole and was unproductive during the Western Conference Finals. It was Chet.
Yeah, but see, they don't really think of Chet as a true center because of the way he plays and he shoots and he tries to create his own shot. So he's not like a true 5. He's more of a 4 in this modern day NBA. But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. And then there were a lot of interesting things going on. Winner and loser, it said. The Memphis Grizzlies cheap thrill said perhaps sitting at number 3 spot and picking whoever was left between Peterson and Boozer was too easy. In Boozer, Memphis landed one of the smartest, most well-rounded prospects in recent memory. His bulldozer strength, diverse offensive skill set, and advanced playmaking and processing simply make the game easier for everyone around him. So then the Grizzlies took Sturtz with the 16th pick, but they opted to trade him to OKC in exchange for 2 second-round picks. Then they made another trade to move down 4 spots, allowing the Pistons to get their guy Okori for the sweet price of 3 more second-round picks. All right, now that's interesting because, again, Memphis gets, I would say, and I love DeBonsa, don't get me wrong, but, like, in some ways, Boozer's the most can't-miss guy of, like, the entire draft.
Yeah.
Like, he can do everything, and he does everything well,
Mm-hmm.
and I find him to be, I don't know if he's as I'm thinking of Banchero. He's not as skilled as Banchero, but for some reason I almost trust him more. I don't know why that is, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Memphis picked up 5 second-round picks in the span of basically 5 minutes to move down 5 spots in the draft, all to take. This was an interesting pick. Kareem Lopez, who was the 36th ranked player on the Ringers 2026 big board. They took him at 21. And I kind of liked the pick because he was the first Mexican-born player drafted since my old friend Eduardo Nájera, the great Eduardo Nájera. So part of me kind of liked it for the novelty of it.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't a lot of Mexican-born players drafted in the NBA.
Right.
It basically never happens.
Mm-hmm.
It did happen. Now, when the kid was 14, the family from Mexico sent him to Spain. They said, go to Spain because they know more about basketball.
Right.
So they got Kareem out of town. But that is a weird thing that Memphis did. They moved around. They accumulated a bunch of picks. And then they got in position to take a guy that was slated on most draft boards and to go. Now, maybe if they loved him, they loved him. But to go 36th, that's pretty rough.
Right.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah. Yeah, he was mocked around that time for most of the mocks within the past month or so. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's that big of a reach.
I also liked the winner being Dusty May. And I think that's true. He's with the Mavs. He gets Marez Johnson Jr.
And 3 of his guys get drafted in the first
all
round.
All his guys drafted.
Mm-hmm.
He's clapping. I thought McCollum looked a little – he smiled. McCollum's a fairly nice guy. I think he's kind of cocky, but I like him. I mean, I love the Iowa coach. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
But I thought McCollum seemed a little bit like, okay, Dusty, enough. I thought that was McCollum's I thought that was his body language. Said that the Mavs went with Marez Johnson, arguably the least heralded of the trio, of Wolverines taken in Tuesday's lottery says a lot about how much May values the big man's burgeoning skill set. Can he go out and shoot a three? He can. Does he need to be able to do that in the NBA? He absolutely does. But what he's got that can kind of bridge that gap is he can be a monster down low on defense. He can be a crazy good defensive and offensive rebounder.
Yep.
I mean, what do we see when it came down to the finals and those games are up for grabs? And, like, I would say, if you said, okay, Matt, who is the least skilled guy on the court right now? All right, and some of these huge comebacks the Knicks had. And I would say, oh, let me look. Mitchell Robinson.
Yep.
He's the least skilled guy on the court.
Uh-huh.
But
can't make a free throw to save his life.
Who was the guy that was saving possessions and just battling and getting some of the biggest rebounds in the whole series? Mitchell Robinson.
Playing good fundamental basketball.
This guy has Mitchell Robinson type strength.
Yeah.
He's not quite that tall, but he's got that size.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the comparisons.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he's a better skilled player.
Yes. And,
on top of it.
And who he's being compared to is very skilled, and that's Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a guy that's just – Bam has had moments in his career where he looked like the superstar.
Yeah.
He looked like the guy to build around. Now,
Right.
I think the Heat have realized we need
more than
somebody
just him.
to put with him that's a superstar. But I think he and Giannis will get along fine.
Yeah.
And that'll be good. Okay, good day today. Good to have the Z-Man out. Good to have Stephanie. I mean, Stephanie Curry, you never know. She was just doing some deals over in Hawaii. We've opened up some new podcast over there in the islands.
Oh,
so that's, yeah.
Can I do that?
I don't know, man.
No.
I don't know. That's for our sales executives. But thanks to the Brazos Landing, what a place it is. What great friends the Lindsays are. And this is a tremendous partnership. This goes way back to my radio days, and they've just been so awesome to come over with us to Rogue, and we love our association. We love the food. I mean, I'm about to order up something right now, and I may get that summer harvest salad with the strawberries. There's a balsamic that I like putting on there, a little poppy seed. Actually, there's a poppy seed dressing that I like, and I like to get the pecans, and then I like to get some blackened chicken. And they blacken it they just do it so beautifully. So great to be here. Kevin, would you like to give one last World Cup update? What's happening on that front?
It is halftime, and Canada and Switzerland are tied 0-0. Bosnia is up 2-1, but they need Canada to win, and they need to have at least a 3-goal differential upside to have
what's the Canada score?
0-0.
With how much time?
It's at halftime.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
All right, and the Americans are back in action tomorrow at
9 p.m. Central Time.
9 p.m. Central Time is kickoff. They don't really need to win. They might as well win. No. They're going to play a lot of their reserves.
Their game means nothing. It's actually the other game in the group that actually means something.
Should we still gather and root for them?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
This will give us, maybe Pochettino will show us some other guys that are deeper in the depth chart that we may need to know.
A lot of people have said, golly, that guy looks like Mosley. Lots of so anyway, thank you very much. Thanks to Fran Fraschilla, Amy Lawrence, Kevin Hoosier Hall, Corey, Stephanie, the Z-Man, and we are very appreciative, and the Lindsay family, and the the chefs here, the GM, the management here. My man Thomas was not here today, and that makes me very sad. This is his one-off day, and really he does not need to be taking off days. He needs to be here. Wonderful guy who loves driving a good sports car. Thanks to all the bartenders for all their wonderful service today. We appreciate everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock straight up. Good night, everybody.
Central National Bank, this is Nikki. How may I help you?
Yes, can you please transfer me to the loan department?
You want to transfer?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, you can't transfer right now.
What?
Have a good day. Yes, how may I help you?
Hi, I would like to transfer money from my C&B account to another bank.
Absolutely not. No. Have a great day.
Wait, hold.
I'm on your website and I'm trying to find the link for your payment portal.
The portal is currently unavailable. Have a great day.
We've received a few complaints.
Correct. We no longer allow any outgoing transfers, only incoming.
But the good news is, no money is leaving the bank. Like, none.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.